Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you've had a great day. A lot of times having a great day is a decision, so I hope that most of you have had a really awesome one. But I just wanted to thank you for joining me today. It's been a lot of fun, and I want to spend a few moments now talking to you about why I'm doing this, and rewind a little bit to tell you a little bit about how I got here. First of all, I've been so flattered today because I have seen friends from elementary school, from boarding school, from college, fellow coaches, that strong, awesome community, my other work friends from sales and marketing, clients from my home and dog sitting business, and Facebook friends that I've still yet to meet. We'll have to look forward to that one day. So thanks for joining the party. I wanted to tell you about why I decided to become a Rodan and Fields consultant. Many of you know that most recently I was working in corporate as an executive recruiter, and I was okay. I wasn't amazing, but I worked my butt off. I was working about 60 hours a week, to be honest, and I felt that if I worked more, I'd be better, and I want you to know that that's not necessarily true. At this point in our lives, we should really leverage our strengths and just forget about our weaknesses. But I wasn't in that mindset. So, ultimately, our startup agency had a round of layoffs that I was included in, and I was determined to get another recruiter job right away. And I set up a bunch of interviews, and 3 days later, people, I had a stroke. I didn't even know what a stroke was. 3 days later. It damaged 40% of my right hemisphere, and it was really a catastrophic event, and it left me with serious limitations. That was on July 18th, 2016. And then suddenly, in one day, friends, things can change dramatically. I'm living in the ICU hospital, telling my mom, who I didn't recognize at first, that I had a recruiter interview the next day. And she said, "No, you don't, Maureen." I said, "Yes, I do, Mom." And I made her promise to reschedule. That's how crazy I was. But I survived and thrived thanks to a miracle and great medical care and a strong network of supportive friends and family. So many of you touched me and stepped up in really profound ways that I will forever be grateful for. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And so after 4 months in the hospital in acute rehab, I started a daily routine of physical therapy. And then I went, so imagine going from tenaciously working in the Bay Area to making a decent income, to socializing, to dating, to all of a sudden not driving, having no job or identity associated with a job, and having to rely on the generosity of others, not being able to read, having to get on food stamps and Medi-Cal and being grateful they existed. And then because you can't pay your bills, I had to declare bankruptcy. I just couldn't believe all this. And I started living a very lonely life. I also decided to give up drinking to make my brain heal faster. I missed a good cab, I won't lie, for a really long time. But then I figured, okay, I've had enough for a few lifetimes, so I'm fine with that. And then I had a decision to make. Sooner or later, what am I going to do with my life besides physical therapy? How am I going to contribute? What can I do that's meaningful and that means something to me? And I had a painful and weak arm and cognitive issues and intense post-stroke fatigue. And I knew I just couldn't enter the rat race in that condition. So really, friends, what started as a problem began to evolve into an opportunity for me to rebuild from the ground up. And I thought, wow, what a radical thought. Could I actually make this chapter 2 even better? Even if it's 1% better, could I do that? Then I resolved to just, why don't you build your life around your passions and what you love? And I've always loved helping people feel better, whether I was working at Estee Lauder or as a life coach. And way back when I was coaching bariatric patients at UCSF in San Francisco, that's when I met lovely Christina Spina, who was working as a PA there, and I liked her the day I met her, and now she's my sponsor. She reached out and asked me years later if I was interested in joining her team, and I wasn't ready. But you know what, guys? I left that thought marinate in my head, and I thought, could I do it? And I thought, wow, I think maybe I can if I make it more personal and authentic. I always loved, and if I'm passionate about that, that could fuel a lot of energy. So then I went into research mode. So all my friends that know me know I love research mode. And I learned that Rodan and Fields were two Stanford-trained dermatologists that are actually behind the brand of Proactive, not Viactive, Proactive. I gotta get that right. Anyway, it's Proactive. A billion-dollar brand, so I knew they were doing something right. Then I started following them on Instagram and Facebook, and I saw story after story with real results that were not touched-up photos. And so this was starting to speak to me. And then I started just informally reaching out to almost every woman I knew, saying, hey, what do you think about Rodan and Fields? Have you heard of it? And I heard over and over, you know what, the products are amazing. It's a great brand. It's a premium product. It's totally worth it. And everybody said that. So I started using a few of the products and started loving them, falling in love. And then I learned a long time ago from my brother, only attach your name to a category leader. And then I learned that Rodan and Fields is the #1 skincare brand in North America. Wow, that's pretty big. And they're delivering real results, and I thought, I can get behind that. And then I thought, well, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to offer it in a way that's helping people from not just the outside to feel beautiful, but really it comes from the inside too. And this way I can leverage some of my coaching experience and offer tips, whether it's just a change in language or mindset or little tricks that I've learned along the way. I plan to share those to help you feel better on a day-to-day basis, because that's really what we all want to do. And deliver that 1-2 punch to feel better, while rebuilding my life and hopefully becoming independent again financially and not being a burden to anybody. So that's how I wound up here. And I'm excited to be of service to my friends and family while rebuilding my life from the ground up. And I would never wish to have had a stroke, but I have to tell you that somehow I know I'm in the right place. And this just feels right. This feels very purposeful. And I'm excited. So that's my really long story that I tried to make short. I hope I did a good job. I need to tell you, we've been talking about products today. There are 3 ways to participate and buy Rodan and Fields. One is you be a retail customer and pay retail and tax and shipping, or you can do what I did right away, is become a preferred customer, where on all purchases of $80, you get 10% off on all orders of $80 and free shipping. And you can pass it up for up to a year or 2, so there's really no loss to it. In fact, the first discount paid for that program for me. Or if you want to have a lot of fun, you can join me on my team and be one of us and part of Rodan and Fields community, and then we can all purchase wholesale together and have a good time. Woohoo! So that's really the Reader's Digest version of how to participate. If you'd like to support me further, first of all, I want to thank you for being a part of my call today. Has really been the highlight of my last couple of months. I've been so excited and so happy to see all of you on this Facebook terrifying live, but it's not too bad, I'll tell you that. If you want to join me, I'm looking for volunteers to join me on some training calls. There is no obligation. You don't have to buy a thing. I just need someone to ask questions and listen with me. So if you would like to do that, please write in the comments, training call. Yes, that'd be great. And then with that, I don't want to ramble. With that, I'm going to introduce my wonderful sponsor, Christina, who was the PA at UCSF Hospital way back when, and is really forging a great path with Rodan and Fields. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. I appreciate you. Bye.